have a ceasefire. It's not a ceasefire. We should have those hostages released, and then we can talk.
That's President Biden calling on Hamas to release more of those held captive before discussions around a ceasefire happen. The frantic push to get more hostages out of Gaza is escalating into Tuesday. New video shows the release of 2 more women Hamas released just hours ago to Red Cross officials. You see here 85-year-old Yocheved Lifshitz and 79-year-old Nurit Cooper, both Israeli citizens. Their husbands are still in the hands of Hamas. They were handed over to the Red Cross at the Rafah crossing at Gaza's border with Egypt. As you see here, it's in an area where Gazan officials say several Israeli strikes have hit in recent days. It's also where thousands have fled since the war began in an effort to get out of Gaza before an Israeli ground invasion. And it's also where humanitarian aid is slowly trickling in. You see here nearly 24 aid trucks with equipment, flatbeds, and other supplies passing through the entry to Gaza. Aid workers on the Egyptian side of the border there preparing big bundles for delivery into the war-torn area. According to one estimate, Gaza is receiving not even 1% of the amount of aid it normally gets since this war began. And our next guest just got back to the U.S. after visiting Israel. Ron Gutman is the founder of the charitable initiative called On Go for Food. He's back in Miami tonight after delivering aid and meeting with families of those impacted by this war on the ground in Israel. Ron, we're so grateful to you to be here with us tonight. You were just actually meeting with families of hostages. It's a situation I can hardly imagine. So let's first ask how you're doing after being a witness to a pain most of us can't even fathom. What's your biggest takeaway?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Maritsa, and giving me the opportunity to share some of the very emotional things that I experienced in Israel. There's a humanitarian crisis there, no doubt, and it's heartbreaking to see that, people think it's a good idea to take other people's lives for whatever reason, right? And I think that, meeting with people who experienced the unbelievable thing that happened 2 weeks ago in villages and kibbutzim in the south of Israel next to the Gaza Strip, and really talking with the family of hostages, just like the 2 that were released this evening. I'm glad to see that they're starting to release hostages, which I hope that they will continue doing that. Meeting with the people, meeting with the families, hearing the stories firsthand, visiting, like you see here, the site of that festival where young people went to celebrate their holiday and just got murdered just because there happened to be human beings on one of the side was really something that it's hard for me to fathom until this very moment. But I also saw at the same time a lot of hope of great people that are volunteering their time, their resources, and their will in order to help people, regardless of where they are, and to support them, and to really create hope in this time of despair. Because when people's lives are taken, people too many times fall into despair. We need to give them hope. We need to give them hope by helping first the people that got hurt, and the people who are still hostages, and release the hostages, and then help all the people that got hurt in a humanitarian effort.
As Mr. Rogers used to say, look for the helpers when terrible things happen in the world. It must be agonizing for families to watch as their loved ones are pawns in these negotiations, wondering at any moment if they'll get good news or bad news. What did they tell you about that wait?
I think it's terrible. It's very, very hard. And I think that this whole notion of mental health and psychological support is something that we decided to help with from the very beginning. So we're supporting organizations in Israel like Natal. It's a wonderful organization run by women who are really helping to send people, to send psychiatrists, to send therapists into the homes of these families who got hurt. This is Gil, one of the people that were there, their families. Some people in the family got murdered, some were lost, and some were saved. And they're getting some support from these organizations, and also organizations like Bring Them Home Now, which is an organization that is working with the families of the people who are hostages, and helping them, provide them hope, provide them the resources that they need, because a lot of them got displaced themselves. So put them on their feet and help them to go back to as normal life as they can.
We're seeing so many posts on social media. People feel helpless and desperate. There is a separate grief that goes along with watching this and feeling like there's not a lot we can do. So from your perspective, what can we here in the U.S. do if we can't travel to Israel like your group has? How can we help?
Yeah, I think that that's exactly what we're doing. So I went to Israel with the organization On Go for Good that we started last year. We helped in Ukraine initially when the war broke there, and I was there literally a few days after what happened in Gaza on the Gaza border. I just jumped on a plane and just went there to identify the best organization who are doing great work on the ground. Like the ones that are mentioned, like Brothers and Sisters in Arms and others that are doing wonderful work on the ground. And we are now turning around here in the United States and raising money, raising funds in order to provide them to these organizations that we identify that are extremely efficient. You see some of the distribution centers of these in the videos, like of people who are volunteers that are coming there and are helping people, civilians on the ground. These are civilians helping civilians. I want to emphasize this is all about human beings. It's about promoting a humanitarian effort to help people that are caught in that fire, that political negotiations, these armies, and they're just human beings, just like you and me, that want to live their life, protect their kids, and go back to normal life. And that helping them with the donations can help a lot. So On Go for Good is the organization that is doing that with us right now.
All right, Ron Gutman, founder of On Go for Good, an initiative providing relief and aid in Israel. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be right back after this.